It's always great to get a win. First one's a tough one. There's a lot of unknowns. You're playing with a team that's hadn't played together before, and there's no preseason games. There's no live goes against anybody else except your own team since the last time they played, which has been several months ago. So starting a new quarterback obviously creates some unknowns as well, but more than anything, it's important that we found a way to win and finish the game off. And really encouraged with our special teams play. I know we had those 2 kicks out of bounds, which pretty much stink, but other than that, it was a great special teams performance. But defensively, we didn't tackle very well at all. That really sticks out to me. I think it was terrible. But we'll get that fixed. That's not who we are. So, but at the same time, got some key stops and got that huge takeaway at the end, which is big. And I thought our offense throughout the game did a great job of controlling the ball. We punted twice, and just really did some good things with the football offensively with the young guy and the signal caller. So, most important thing is to get the W and questions.
Tom.
John, go ahead.
Yeah, I think it was about a minute left at the first half, and you guys actually went on a drive. I mean, was there any consideration to take a knee here conservative, or is that the trust you have in Michael Penix?
Yeah, and obviously he'd already thrown the 2 picks early, but you turn the offense over to him, you got to trust him. And to me, he's just about growing, and you can't simulate those situations in practice. So I just felt like as much as possible, I wanted him to be able to move us down the field, got field goal range, kicked field goal. I think our drive started on the 10-yard line. So we were definitely back there pretty good. So yeah, the whole point was, and it's kind of the way you gauge it is if you don't, if your first couple plays struggle, you might be a little more conservative. But at the same time, I said, God, we got to get points, 3 points or 7 points, one of the 2 things. So give you momentum going to half. We knew we were going to get the ball in the 3rd quarter, so you want to be careful. We talked to him about being smart with his decision making, but at the same time, I just want him to keep growing and learning. So you saw the upside that I've seen throughout all fall camp. So it's there.
Jeff, then Zach.
What was your analysis of Mike Penix first start? What he did, good and bad?
Well, the 2 picks, were obviously, and the one was a bad throw. The other one was the receiver fell down and kind of threw the timing of the whole thing off. So I wouldn't say as much about the second one, but it happens. But at the same time, I feel like that thought he had a lot of poise. He missed some reads, missed some things that we're trying to work on to key and have him. That didn't surprise me. I mean, you're going to have some growing pains now. I mean, he's never been a starter before in college, and they did a good job disguising some stuff. And so you get him on headsets, listen to everything. And so I knew sometimes we knew as the ball was about to snap that it probably wasn't the best situation. But sometimes he made something out of nothing a few times, which is what he's able to do. You can see his legs, how valuable those can be, and the zip on the football. It's really it's elite. And so he's got some real talent, and he's just got poise about him. I mean, when the pressure's coming, he just kind of shrugs it off, and he can feel the pressure on the backside. And so he's got a lot of instinctive things that I've seen in him, and really kind of how I felt that way was mostly because of what he did last year during games. Just kind of almost played better at times in games than he even played in practice sometimes. But so I was pleased with his performance. I thought he did a really good job.
Zach and Tom.
I guess obviously you haven't seen film yet, but beyond Mike, the run game just couldn't seem to find its legs. Can you diagnose any of that?
I know they loaded the box a bunch, and even all those calls we were trying to get, that's why we threw the ball as much as we did. So, but we're going to look at that and figure it out. But I mean, sometimes it's a numbers game. A lot of times they had an extra hat, and so it's just a matter of us getting some of that stuff cleaned up. So, but we still got a couple, have 2 new linemen starting really for the first time, and Harry and Caleb, and so we just got to get that group ready to roll. But I think our run game's going to be fine.
Tom and Rick.
How much interaction did you have with Michael after the picks? Because he seemed like he remained pretty well poised afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, I just patted him on the tail and just said, "Hey, flush it." Didn't give him a pep talk. Didn't want to talk about anything negative. I just smiled at him, smiled back, patted him on the tail. Let's go. So I believe in the kid. So it's not going to be all roses every time he's out. So.
Rick.
In the first half, you were throwing the ball, it looked like you were trying to stretch the field a little bit, and then you came out in the second half, that first drive, it was a little more balanced. Was that the intention?
Yeah, just trying to take what they're giving us and go through. I felt like even with his read progressions, they were a little sped up. He'll get better at that. Sometimes he was too rushed at times to throw it too quickly to a certain read and not let the whole concept develop. But once again, that's it just takes the time and experience. But no, I think that, obviously, we had the one drop late in the game. It would have been either touchdown or for sure, but big play. So, other than that, I thought that, we're just trying to take what they give us, which is going to be pretty consistent. And I thought Kalen did a good job keeping them off balance and moving chains and getting points every time we needed them. So I thought the offense did a lot of good things.
Pete and Matt Weaver.
Tom, what makes Logan so effective? He was incredibly effective last year, and obviously he had a fairly nice game tonight.
Clutch. Some guys. And that's why kickers are so hard to recruit. And that's why they're so hard. I was a special teams coordinator for many years, and there's some really good programs in the country that have had issues with kickers and being able to find guys. And to me, it's some guys have the innate ability to just come through when it counts, when the pressure's on. And some have the opposite of that. They can be great kickers until you put them out there in front of all the people and when it's live on game day, and they don't kick near as good as they do when there's nobody around. So he's just one of those guys. He's had a pretty good fall camp. I don't think he's had as good a fall camp as he had a year ago, but he was awesome today, And so, I trust him too. I mean, every time I sit him out there, I'm like, okay, and we worked really hard. We got a new snapper, and got a new holder. And so everything's really new for him, and so we try to get that consistency. And, Sean Master, no one's mentioned his name one time, but he's a true freshman. He's never played in a college game in his life, and every single snap was perfect. And so, those are the kind of things. We went out and signed that kid, right out of high school, which a lot of times people go the route of taking those guys as preferred walk-ons and develop them. I don't believe in that. And so we went out and found the best in the country that we could find. It was a great fit for us here academically and socially in the kind of environment he wanted to be in. And I'm telling you, those kind of things get forgotten really quick until you have some bad snaps. And so that's a kid that came out there today and did his job. That's why nobody talked about him.
Matt Weaver.
Coach, obviously I know first game you probably expect a little bit of sloppiness. Were you surprised that some of the drop passes?
I was, because we've actually caught the ball really well in practice.
Yeah.
We've not dropped balls. As a matter of fact, a year ago at this time, I wouldn't have been surprised. We didn't catch the ball. I didn't think very good in fall camp. But I thought we caught the ball really well. So that surprised me. And our tackling surprised me too. We've been pretty good tacklers in all of our scrimmages and everything. So we'll watch this film. And I saw a lot of guys just trying to shoulder tackle. And that's got to go.
But
that never work.
But going forward, obviously improvement from 1 to 2. Everybody talks about that's.
Yeah.
You feel pretty getting the win, and then you still
There's no
obviously have a lot of
question.
room to grow.
I'm telling you, to be able to win and play, it's sometimes not very good, and get a W and learn from a win is a great feeling. Okay, learning from an ugly loss is really stinks, right? So we're going to learn from it. I think we're going to be a much better football team when we take the field next week, especially as a whole group. And I think those things that do change. We're still young. There's a lot of those guys on defense they're still young, and that's the part that we can't forget. But at the same time, I expected that. But I was surprised in those two areas just because it hasn't been the way we've been. If we dropped a bunch of balls in a million, that's an issue. But it's not been in practice. So I just think it's just a matter of just flushing the first game jitters and being better next week.
Jim.
Coach, one of the reasons that Michael Penix got the job was the ability to get down the field. He's able to hit on one of those big plays early on. What does that mean for your offense going forward?
It's huge. Just when you're calling it, trust me, when you're calling defense and you're worried about that all the time, that could happen at any second. And that's the thing about him that's so different. He didn't have to have his feet set. He didn't have to have everything perfect. He can just flick it, whether he's running to his left, running to his right, whatever he's doing. And that's where just the natural arm talent is really unique. And so I just know it affects the way he called the game on that side of the ball. So to be able to get that on film early and make them know they got to honor that. And we got, Nick Westbrook can fly. He's big, he's tall, but he's fast. And so, and that's just a huge threat to have. We got some other guys as well. So, I think it's important. We talked about it a lot. And it doesn't always mean throwing the ball 60 yards downfield, but today that's what we did.
Pigs and then Matt Cohn.
You had true freshman David Ellis throwing that 2-pointer and running back kicks.
So how about this? Okay, so we thought he was going to run it, right? Because we just figured that's how they were going to play it. So really the only thing we worked on was him throwing to his first read. He went to his second read, which is technically his third choice. It was running first. His first read was covered, okay? And then he threw it to a guy that we've never thrown to one time in practice. And he's a true freshman. So that was pretty impressive. So I thought it was a great call. They actually defended it pretty well for something we've never shown before. But that's pretty good poise for a true freshman. So he's got something special about him.
Sammy.
Coach, how frustrating is it for a guy like Marcelino to come up with two 15-yard penalties?
I don't get it. To me, it's just stupid. They're called selfish penalties, and so that's why I took him out, and ripped his tail. And so we'll have a nice little week with him for that. He'll never do it again.
Kevin and then Zach.
Mike's ability to spread the ball around, 7 different receivers. He, as Kalen said, he got the running backs involved and the tight ends involved.
Yes, and it's the way we want, and I just think that that's the bottom line. And I believe in what we're doing here offensively, and he does a good job of distributing the football to a lot of guys. Our tight ends are expected to be a big part of our offense, and I just think that that's how you make it hard on defenses, and you also you're building a resume of what you do schematically. As these games build each week, and you put together a system that they have to deal with, and these things that you're doing now start setting things up in the future, and that's part of the systematic plan. So that's why one of the big reasons why when I studied film and really went after Kalen to bring him here was just I love that part of his approach, and being able to keep defenses off balance. So yeah, that's definitely what we want to be able to do, and that's what we're able to do today.
Zach and then Taylor.
Pass rush situations in particular, I feel like you had a lot more success when you started bringing some extra guys.
Yeah,
Is that
sure.
something you're going to be comfortable? Is that what you want it to look like, I guess, this season?
I do. To me, I want us to be a pressure first and then cover as a changeup. So I see and I foresee us being that way. And so I want to see us continue to be more of that. I just think that's who I am. That's what I believe in. And the thing about it is, early in the year, you don't have a real. Every film that we watched was last year's film. And so you don't really know exactly. I mean, you're watching all this, you're watching 12 games of a lot of things. You're trying to sort through, figure out what they're going to do. And so as the season progresses, you can zero in on more of the protections you're going to see, and you can start to set things up in terms of how you can, that's what I expect us to be able, as the season progresses, to be more effective rushing the passer with our pressures. And then, we will rush 4 times or 3 or how we do it, but bottom line is we're going to be a pressure team, and that's what we do. And so we'll use the coverages as a change-up, but we're going to come after people. And as you saw tonight, when we did come after them, we were much more effective.
Taylor, last one.
Coach, can you talk about the tackling moving forward? Is it more of a refocusing thing, or is it something that's kind of natural at the beginning of the season?
Well, it's an unfortunate. All I got to do is just watch games. I've watched games. We had last weekend. There was a couple games, and then there was games on Thursday this week. There's games last night, and it's a common theme. And it's become a bigger issue. And obviously, matter of fact, Coach New and I talked about it before the game because we now are at a point where these guys train year round. And so you're trying to balance that. Used to be they come and they report for fall camp. You would get them in shape during fall camp. Those days are way long gone. And so now you're trying to balance out all that you do all year long. Our guys are here all summer long. They come in May, June, July. And so bottom line is that there can be an overload on your body and all the hits that you take and all the pounding that you get, and they're getting so big and strong. So you're trying to balance all that out. And so I think that's one of the areas that gets affected. And I think ball security gets a nice beat because you don't always go as much live as you did. But you might even do it during the spring. So I think it's an outgrowth of just natural things. But I saw, like I said, shoulder tackles to me, that's an easy fix. Okay, if they don't want to wrap up, then they're not going to play. And then number 2, just running your feet. Running your feet through the ball carriers. And that to me is reps. And we try to do it with these donuts, we do all these things you simulate, trying to do it without pad, without tackling the guys. And that doesn't always work because it's not a live body. So I think you get better as you go, and you just had 2.5, 3 hours, how long the game just lasted, full of live tackle drills. So we teach off of that. We look on the things we need to get better at, and I expect us to be a lot better next week.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Awesome. Have a great day, LEO.